white diagnosed autistics, like when you would smoke weed in the past, have that thought of like, man, whenever I get really high, just start like rocking back and forth, you know, into my toes, or maybe you're just like swaying back and forth. What is that? I feel like I'm the only one in the room doing that. What's going on? Because that was me. I was always like, so weird. It just makes me want to rock, and it just feels so nice. Like, I wonder why. Like, even before I knew I was autistic, and before I knew what masking was and what things helped me unmask, weed was doing that for me.
Don't try at all.
I know. I mean, I know, but I don't always know, you know? Like, sometimes I have this tiny voice in the back of my head that goes like, hey, everyone hates you.
Oh,
you're not wrong to feel
I believe
that way.
you.
I'm sorry if that came off abrupt. I'm autistic and also a bitch. I'm
Autistic and also a bitch.
I'm autistic and also a bitch. I'm autistic and also a bitch. I'm autistic and also a bitch.
I love
Hey
this
guys,
stick
this is
though.
what I wear in a week as a guy who really likes Pokemon. I have seen so many videos like this where it's like what I wear in a week, but as a downtown boy,
Oh, I like
or
your
whatever
style.
aesthetic it is. But I just really like Pokemon, and I wanted to show off my fits. So here are the days that I wear them. I also included pajamas at the end as a little bonus, but I don't know what to call this aesthetic. I've been calling it autism so far, but let me know if you have anything
Oh, I
else.
like this.
Hello. So I just like chose a question that I felt like connected really well. But the first test is here. Are you guys ready? Drum roll. Ta-da!
Oh, you
wait,
also
the
Dyscalculia.
Okay.
We have
okay,
Dyscalculia
the
series
second
in
test,
this
yeah.
channel. If you want, you can
Also-
check.
I'm funny. But yeah, so number 1 says that I have autism, which I already knew. I'm not shocked, but so far the online tests have been like pretty accurate. So we'll see with the second opinion. But yeah.
Pass, pass, pass,
Smash.
smash.
You know that autistic people are statistically more likely to be part of the LGBTQ community? The studies on referencing are inclusive but not limited to lesbian, gay, trans, bisexual, queer, and asexual. In 2018, a study found that only 30% of autistic people identify as heterosexual, in comparison to the 70% of neurotypical people that identified as heterosexual. A 2020 study found that half of autistic women identify as cisgender. Cisgender meaning they identify with their sex at birth, but only 8% of autistic women reported being exclusively heterosexual. 8%! A Cambridge study found that autistic adults and adolescents are 8 times more likely to identify as asexual or other sexualities. But the question is, why? I think it's a concept of social norms and gender roles. For
Yes,
me personally,
absolutely.
social constructs make no sense. They're all made up, so why do we have to follow them? Society just magically came up with a list of standards and everyone assimilated to that. Now, I've heard people in the past associate asexuality with autism, and yes, asexuality is common in autistic people, but there are plenty of autistic people who are sexual beings and even hypersexual. Asexuality is common for many reasons, like simply having no desire to engage in sexual acts or even getting a little queasy thinking about it. But asexuality doesn't equal being aromantic. Yes, you can be both, but you can also be asexual and romantic. And by romantic, I mean desiring emotional connection and relationships. Whether it's hetero-romantic, homo-romantic, and so on. Just remember that whatever you feel is valid. So I got my bachelor's in animal science pre-vet, and what's always confused me is how humans have shamed everything except for heterosexuality. But over 1,000 different species have been reported to engage in same-sex behavior, whether that's sex or co-parenting. The point being, it's natural, it's normal, societal standards are
Oh,
stupid,
all
and
your
they try
makeup.
to brainwash us. Bye, guys.
I got diagnosed with autism this summer, and as part of that, I found out 2 things. I found out, one, that a lot of my friends think I'm really weird, and I didn't know that, but they filled out, like,
You are not
evaluation.
weird.
Yeah, and they just said
Society
that
is
they thought
weird.
I'm
You are
weird, and
not.
that basically everyone thinks I'm weird.
No, not everyone.
And I wouldn't mind it that much. But then I also found out that, like, when you're friends with someone, my psychiatrist who diagnosed me, she said that friendship isn't supposed to feel like you're pretending the whole time. It's not supposed to be this, like, game where someone says something and
Like
then you
chess.
pull up all the possible responses and then choose the right one, and it felt that way to me. It felt like one of those video games where all the different options pop up and you pick one, except I also had to generate all the appropriate options. And I found out that it's not supposed to be that, and so then I've been, and that masking is bad. Masking is really bad for your mental health and your physical health, and so I've been trying to do that less, but now I'm just alone.
No, we are here. No, you're not
Like, I don't want to pretend
alone.
in order to make people like me. It's really tiring. But like, am I just supposed to be alone?
No.
Is there no world in which I'm me and I have friends who like me?
We are here.
The sprinkles guy when I was younger with ice cream, so I appreciate this.
You look like a sprinkles guy.
The f*** that's supposed to mean?
I'm just saying you look like a sprinkles guy.
I am so good at masking. No one would ever realize I was autistic if I didn't say anything.
Look, there she goes, that girl is so peculiar.
Being an autistic woman in the workforce might look like you constantly getting in trouble for answering questions honestly, which you thought was a good quality. It also might look like you getting in trouble because you bring things to management. You let them know that something is an injustice, or you let them know that something unethical is going on within the company. They don't really like that. They already knew. They were ignoring it. It might look like you struggling with your job, even though you're doing your job perfectly, because you're not hanging out with all of your coworkers and socializing enough, and so they're all going out and spending time without you, and it looks like you're not really integrating yourself into the community at work, and you end up getting fired for it. It might look like you getting in trouble because you're doing your job too well, and your work is done to too high of a degree, and so your coworkers are frustrated that you're making them look bad. Management might put extra work on you because you don't set boundaries and say no, because you were taught at a young age that you're not allowed to do that or you'll get in trouble. And it also might happen because you feel like you want to help the company because it's your own ethics and your own personal justice that you want to be involved in helping to lift up those around you. So you don't mind taking on extra tasks if you're asked. The qualities I've just listed include honesty, a sense of justice, perfectionistic attention to detail and hyper-focusing.
It's too much for nerd
that focuses more on the quality of the work than on the social relationships. Those are all positive traits. It's interesting that none of them are really supported within the workplace.